Alright folks, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 5 of our Path to Truth in our Let's Play of The Letter. And when we last left off, real quick, we finished things off in sort of our relationships with Ash. We're doing great with Isabella and Zach. Rebecca a little less good, but Rebecca moved on, so hey, that's all good. And we just went to the mansion for the final night here. We've gotten into the dungeon where this time, I don't think we're going to run into Marianne, or if we do, it's going to be a dead body. Turns out it is, for the most part. The path rarely deviates, no sharp turns or branching routes. Just a long, empty hallway stretching out before me, filled with nothing but dust, dirt, and a few rusted chains scattered about. The only problem is having an overactive imagination, and walking amidst a place shadowed by death. Every sound, every sudden movement, even the faintest of it, spurs it. At times, there are scampering, small noises that abruptly rises above my footfalls, rebounding off the hollow walls and echoing inaudibly across the whole span of the tunnel before fading away just as swiftly as it rang.
It's probably just some animal.
Just the rat, yeah. Just the rat. A rat, maybe? I hope. I pause, nevertheless, straining my ears for more of it, while I gradually move my hand to my side, slow and steady until the tips of my fingers brush off the gun's handle. You are so trigger-happy. Although cold against my skin, it is the closest thing I have to comfort at the moment. For a long minute, I wait, holding my breath, watching every form, edge, and shadow at the corner of my vision for any movement. After a heartbeat and nothing, I allow the tension to ease out of me in the form of a long, slow exhale that reverberates around the whole place. Things continue like this as I traverse the whole passage, pausing, listening, moving on, repeat. Eventually losing track of time while I go deeper into the tunnel, until finally the corridor ends with a sight of light slanting from a door left ajar. On the other side, from whatever little glimpse the opening offers, I spied bottles lining the walls and liquor barrels for aging. The wine cellar.
Right into the kitchen, then.
More than eager to get out of this place, I quicken my pace. It's interesting that, because last time we had to find, the hidden switch or whatever. It's interesting that's just open this time. But as soon as the door is within arm's reach and I push it open, a foul, putrid scent assaults my senses. A heady mixture of odors akin to a rotting fruit and decaying meat that catches me completely off guard. Surprised, I stumble back, gagging, having accidentally breathed a lungful of it, only for my foot to end up disturbing the edge of a nearby puddle I failed to notice earlier. It sends splashes of liquid right across the hem of my pants, and I fight the urge to grimace as a raw, metallic smell rises up in the air. A smell I'm already more than familiar with. Thank you very much. That doesn't mean I have to like it, but I do. Love the dead bodies. Sighing, I take a brief moment to brace myself before crossing the threshold, already expecting the worst. The trail of liquid leads me to it. Its form is slumped against a wine vat not too far from the door. The rank lingers heavier here, stronger. Putrefaction has just started, but in a place like this, you can't really tell the time of death from that alone. The humidity and temperature in this room has likely delayed the process. An estimate? This person has died sometime around 3 to 5 days ago, which places the timeline around the time people are just moving in, and also the housewarming party. A servant, then? No. Someone with the same social status as the Wrights. Whoever it is has also read the letter, based on the writings around the body. Someone who was also present during the open house and the party. Surely you would recognize her, so I guessed. Wordlessly, I draw closer, muttering okay, he hasn't seen it yet. Muttering a quiet prayer under my breath to the departed. The least I can do now is figure out who it is, and try to find his or her family once I'm done here. Let them know what has become of their kin. Even through the layers of clothes, its shoulder feels cold to the touch. Somehow, despite not being new to this, it still sends a nauseating chill to my stomach. Maybe it's because this time I know exactly why this person died. Another innocent casualty of this curse. I'm surprised that he didn't immediately jump to thinking it was Luke. Ignoring this dread, gently, I give the blazer a pull. Oh, don't like that. Unexpectedly, her head lolls back, twisted, contorted, severed. It dangles from one side to the other before settling at an odd angle. The next thing I know, I'm staring at the hollow base of her neck with only a thin layer of skin keeping our severed head to her body. But more than the gruesome sight or the sickening feeling that has lurched up to my throat, it's recognition. I know this woman. And it's not just any woman I've seen randomly in the streets. She's the same one I met at G's 5 days ago, smashed drunk and babbling about her frustrations about her employers. Marianne McCulloch, famous interior designer extraordinaire. Not so extraordinary. That's rude. Ash, come on, not so extraordinary now, with her throat sliced viciously in half and her whole body drenched in her own blood. Once the surprise subsides, I muster the courage to properly lie her down, closing her eyes and covering her face with my handkerchief. It's perhaps the kindest gesture I can offer her right now, pressed for time as I am. But for someone to suffer this kind of death, in the end, the only thing I'm able to do is avert my gaze and continue with my plans. Surreal. This is all nothing but a surreal nightmare. But after everything, should this even surprise me? Ghosts, curses, hidden passages? I can't even bring myself to vocally question anything anymore, in spite of a number of them already swimming inside my head. As a kid, I used to crave for this kind of adventure. The stuff of mystery and detective novels, daring chases, interesting cases to solve, suspects to put behind bars, justice to serve. I was blinded, I admit. Now I simply want this to be over.
You really believe it'll be that easy?
Oh, this time the mirror is fully in place. I pause mid-step, confused. Warily, I look around, searching wildly for the source. A long minute passes. No one speaks again. Breathing out a sigh of relief, I simply continue, this time treading lightly, careful not to make a sound. Up ahead, I can already glimpse a set of stairs that must lead to the kitchen. Getting unnoticed in the wine cellar is not a problem, but if someone's upstairs when I pop up, well, to say it'll be complicated might be a bit of an understatement, especially if that butler's in there. Oh, he is. If I get caught, no one else will be able to fix this.
See? So full of yourself, aren't you?
You're not wrong, Zach. This time, I'm sure. There's really a voice, well, voices. Despite standing only a few paces away from the exit, I find myself stopping and looking for it. Searching the immediate surrounding for the familiar form of the woman, I don't even have to venture too far from where I'm standing. Just an arm's length away from me, a mirror stands, and from it, they speak. All singing the same mocking tune against my ears, letting it echo throughout the small undercroft. Murmurs and laughters, jeering, scoffing, deriding, lacing venom into every crevice in my head, taunting me.
Look at you, mouthing off like some hero. You can't even fix your own silly little problems. You haven't really changed, have you?
No, not really.
Useless.
Pathetic.
You're wrong.
My mistakes lie in this first instance I've answered. The very second denial has slipped from my mouth, their words have also seeped into my heart, allowing it to prod at and rouse my temper. Despite knowing they are merely doing this to goad me, each word, each syllable trickle into me, spurring the guilt I hope I've long buried.
Or is that simply what you've been telling yourself all this time? Something to make yourself feel better, perhaps?
You're the one who took that letter off Isabella's hand that day. You're the one who opened it.
That's true.
How does it feel, I wonder? To know you're responsible for all of this?
I mean, by that argument, Isabella is at least equally responsible.
What do you think I'm doing? Why do you think I'm still trying to fix this?
Oh, but you can't. It's already too late. And you know that. You know all of this is futile.
Just face it, Ashton Frey. You're a failure, and they are the ones who have to pay for it.
A badge and a gun, and you still can't protect your own friends. Can't even solve a case for an old man.
Can't even bring you right to justice.
Can't even keep his own family together. No wonder they left you. Before you do the same thing to them.
Wow.
Mom and Dad
Yikes.
are off without little old you, aren't they? It's a good thing they had the sense.
Pitiful, isn't it? Some detective you are. Some friend you are. Some son you are.
Some crush you are.
Might as well just throw that rank away. You're no use to people either way.
Shut it!
I hate this. I hate how this monster can easily get through to me. Every weakness, every insecurity, it knows. To hear it said in my friend's voice, even more so. But what I hate above all of it is...
You know it's true, though.
All of it. It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already...
And so, I mean, this sort of relates to my question earlier in this playthrough, which was that, like, the spirit seems to have the ability to, like, get at the character's insecurities, but it so rarely seems to actually play with it. Like, it does it with Marianne, and I noted it there, and then it kind of does it here, but, like, it never really does it with any other character, which just seems kind of odd.
You can't even admit it to yourself. Who's the coward now?
But no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be able to say anymore.
Shut it! Not a single word anymore.
One more word comes out, I'm smashing this mirror.
In the end, your own incompetence will eventually lead to the deaths of everyone you care about.
Well, no. I mean, I'll die, but the other people will be fine. It laughs. Well, actually, I don't know that. Maybe in the true end, everyone dies. It laughs, sharp and piercing, as at its sound, something in me snaps. A rage hastily unfurling, red filling my vision. And the next thing I know, I'm raising my hand, and my fist connects to its surface. It shatters, renting the air with an ear-splitting crack, sending fragments of it on the floor. The fog from my mind lifts. Every sound, every noise returns to me, flooding my every senses. All at once, there's this deafening silence. Slowly, I become aware of my surroundings. Bottles of wine, barrels of liquor, the faint old scent of death and decay somewhere, and the small cuts at the back of my fingers. Blood drips from each digit, trailing down my wrist until it disappears behind my sleeve or falls to the floor. Not too deep, negligible even. There is pain, however, a different kind. An ache somewhere else that stems not from the wound, but where every single word has hit. On the ground, shards lie lifeless now. No more voices, no more insults, but even as I walk away, one whispered taunt continues to ring in my ears.
It's useless, Ashton Frey. You are going to die.
And you are going to die alone.
A fear. One that has been long kept in the darkest place in my heart. One that a small part of me wishes for. Alright, the trapdoor swings open without much fuss. It isn't even locked, probably left open for when Wright asks for some midnight snack. Johans, I'm hungry. I make sure the coast is clear, of course, before I pull myself up. The butler there's nowhere to be seen, probably sleeping, tending to his master, or doing some extra late-night work before turning in for the night. Meanwhile, Wrights won't touch anything to do with menial chores, not even with a 10-foot pole. It's next to impossible for him to linger here. No servants, no anyone. And just as easy as that, I'm in. Gently, I close the hatch. If things go well, the same path will be my way out. If my life doesn't hold, well, it's not an option now, is it? How would you get out that way? Because you fell in, didn't you? How would you get back out? I have people waiting for me. I really don't want to think what might happen. Sometimes it's best if I simply revel in the little victories. They're great blessings when everything else is going against you. And in a place like this, fraught with unknown dangers, it's a feeling that lasts only but a second. Suddenly, a sob, ringing out from some distant part of the house, echoing through its empty halls. My shoulders immediately tenses, hairs raising at the back of my neck as a sudden chill passes. This despite myself and the beliefs I've long held. Because as much as I want to convince myself that nothing's wrong, my experience tells a wholly different story.
What are the chances I'll be able to leave this place alive?
Very slim, my friend. I want to be optimistic about it, really. However, I'm going against something almost everyone can't quite understand. I'm just being realistic with my chances. Beyond the walls of this room, the cries continue to grow louder. With a rapid draw of breath, heavy with apprehension, I slip out the door. Like a siren call, her voice beckons. Finding out who that is seems a good place to start as any. I keep to the shadows for the most part. Yep, okay. So we get our little taste of what's to come there. And then we're going to head up to where the attic is. We get what, again, I think is the origin of the letter, but I'm not quite sure. The taser clipped to my belt is the next thing to go the moment I'm down. Okay, so this time I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen here then, because last time Isabella used the taser. Maybe she picks it up? We'll see. The sound of it sliding roughly against the wooden floor somewhere grates against my ears along with my labored breathing. The next thing I know, a piece of cloth is closing around my neck. Without warning, my attacker pulls tight. Alright, so we have Johans trying to kill us, but then... Yep, okay, she must have picked it up where this bastard kicked it off earlier. Where else could she have gotten one? Doubt she has ever used one, even. Hell, the way she holds it right now, this guy can easily disarm her in one hit. But there's something in her. It's in her eyes. Who else came with her? Zach? Rebecca? Are they all here? Panic surges within me. She knows how bad the situation is, but did she have to run in here and expose herself like that? Alright, so she manages to take Johannes out.
If Zach didn't slip up, no one would have known where you went.
Okay. Zach! Can't trust anyone these days.
Belle, one person knowing is enough. Any more than that, I told Zach to give me 4 hours. That would have been enough time to...
It would have been too late! And by the time anyone ever finds out, you're already fertilizer!
That's very true.
We're still here, Ash. You have us.
And once their meaning fall, roar, it does so not with the force of a dam breaking or a raging storm, but with the gentle, steady warmth of a hearth burning. An emperor easing slowly, lightly, rising and giving, until all that's left is a truth and understanding. Not alone. Never alone. Alright, so we have, yep. We have our moment with Isabella here. They get together. She says yes. And then we come back to find, in one corner, Zack and Rebecca watch as almost as surprised to see us. Relieved as I am that they had the sense to wait and not venture deeper into the mansion, I can't keep but roll my eyes at both
Zack,
of them.
I said 4 hours.
It's barely been one.
I know, but Isabella asked and... Come on, bro, you know I ain't a very good liar.
And it didn't even occur to you to stop her?
We all tried, all right? She was out the door before we could say anything.
And how did you guys even get in here?
All three of them exchange a look. One that I absolutely don't like. In the end, it's Isabella who speaks up, albeit with a bit of hesitation.
We heard someone scream, Ash. It led us here.
Without warning, the door behind us slams
We
shut.
need to get out of here.
This is clearly a trap. Screw right, I hate that guy. Everyone does. I need to get these people out of here. Luckily, we're in the kitchen and have 2 ways out, the back door and the cellar offers. Except the hatch won't budge when I pull at it, and neither does the back door, as if something has locked it firmly on the other side. Zack also gives it a few tries, but even with the big guy's strength, it won't open. There's a long bout of silence in which we all simply look at each other, likely sharing the same thoughts. We're trapped. Something or someone has intentionally led us here. Fuck! In that same moment, once realization dawns in, something shifts again. Blood. In every nook and cranny, over every surface and every inch of the floor. Alright, so we start making our way through. We find that...
eventually die because of you.
And you are going to die alone! I gotta join in on it now. Alright.
Why are you doing this?
Ooh.
Just please. Don't you love me?
Or maybe it's all just a show? A taste of what will eventually be souls forever held captive in a never-ending nightmare?
Mother. I've done it, Mother. Take me with you, please.
Interesting. Okay, Zack helps Isabella and Rebecca first, assisting them up and through the gap. The moment the ladies are in, I nod for him to go through.
I'll watch your back.
Surprisingly, he does that without any protest, not that there's any need to. Sometime after entering this room, the whole place has calmed down. No wails, no whispers. For all I know, this may just be a calm before another storm. Oh, you don't know the half of it, bud. Without further incident, however, Zack makes it to the other side, and I'm following after him. However odd this hush is, I turn my back from it and climb up. It's a tight fit, but I manage to squeeze myself in. Alright, so we got Luke Wright threatening everyone. The handgun catches my eyes first, next to that smarmy smile on his face while he holds Zack, Rebecca, and Isabella at gunpoint. Its sight enough to lodge a painful thorn up my throat. I've been too complacent, too focused on other things that I completely set aside the fact that Scumbag will not be too pleased to see us here without knowing our reasons. But even with those good intentions, curses and ghostly apparitions aside, we're still trespassing in his home. The question is if he's even aware that the whole of his household has somehow disappeared and he might be the only one here. Likely not. Fuck. Even with people he knows among the crowd, there's a significant effort in him not to simply shoot everyone in sight.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
I'd like to think that she'd be on her
Luke,
side.
this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
So what are you gonna say to Zack now?
Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please, what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry. I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you.
Okay, so
But
Zack,
really now,
Zack doesn't even get one this time.
I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
Casually, he waves the handgun at them as if it's just a mere toy and his words are no threat. The safety's off on his, nothing stopping him from pushing through with his words. Call me paranoid, but with a slight gesture, I draw my own and level at him, finger on the trigger and ready to release the safety catch in case things go south. Alright. And so, unfortunately, we're gonna choose to disarm him.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
I mean, it's fun to shoot Luke right in the arm, don't get me wrong. But the fact that this is... Oh, God, what? Wait, hang on. What's the context here? Then all at once, they're images, bearing down on me with the weight of it, accompanying motions, like they are my own. All from a time long gone, and a life that was never mine. However, there's no time to make sense of all of it. Amidst the did that happen last time? I don't remember. Something whizzes past by, too close, too swift. A brief, keen blur that barely registers in my eyes, like an arrow quickly finding its mark and heading straight for... Time slows to a stop. In one moment of clarity, my body moves on its own, heart pounding hard against my ears, blood rushing through every vein. Spurred only by adrenaline in a desperate bid to reach her crouched, unsuspecting form, and I don't even get to yell for her a second time. I don't even get to call her name.
Ashton!
An acute pain bursts through my chest in the next instant. All of a sudden, everything around me feels too sharp. Every edge, every point. Even the act of drawing breath alone stings and burns my lungs when an intense ache slowly spreads throughout my whole body. Numb. I feel numb. A hand comes away bleeding, shaking, while I can only let out a wet, ragged laugh. Soon, without warning, I'm going down on my knees and the whole world is pitching sideways. An arm, warm and welcoming, is on me the second I stumble back, catching my fall. Isabella has always been warm, after all.
Ash?
Her hands are shaking, her lips are quivering while she looks at me with wide, fearful eyes. Tears have started to form at their corners, threatening to spill at any moment, and a pang of regret hits me at the sight
Ashton?
of it. Even for the last time, I can't even give her a reason to smile.
Hey, you're crying again. Don't give me that look. I told you. Doesn't suit you.
Cautiously, despite the stabbing aches shooting up at every moment, I reach a trembling hand up to wipe them away. Crying has never looked good on her, after all. My arm never makes it far, however. Midway, she meets my hand, catching it in a light grip, as if she's all too afraid I might break. Though I already am. Just slowly. The pain is easing, everything's going cold.
Shut up, Ash! Don't move, alright? Stop talking! We'll get you a doctor! Someone! Just stay put! Just stay put, okay? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'd like to agree with that with her on that, reassure her. But I've gone through a lot, survived a lot of shit. It doesn't take a genius to figure out I'm done for. Whatever hit me, a hold of the chest is fatal enough. I don't think I'm gonna bounce back from this. I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
I should be afraid in this moment. Yet, I'm not. No fear. No dread. Just an acceptance. And a deep regret as she appears before us, her voice echoing throughout the foyer. At the top of the... What? Wait a minute. Okay, so that's interesting. So we have the image of her that we got when she was possessed, like Hannah. And then we also have the Takako, threatening her bit. But it's like a combination, because the first time when Takako was threatening her, Hannah was normal and worried. Now we get her looking possessed and also being threatened. That's interesting. Hannah Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it is her.
I told you didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
I thought I finished the job.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, a streak of lightning flashes, and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. Here, there's only a whispered sigh, a fading breath, and a lone heart that beats hard one last time. She's got one thing wrong, though. I did not die alone. Okay. Whew. Alright, we move on to Luke's final chapter here, and the final chapter of our playthrough that will hopefully end with the true ending, if we've done everything right. Until then, though, folks, until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I have been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.